let me tell you about a story. Now when men are talk bound about their law enforcement, a right bunch of clowns, how they wear their badge like a plastic crown, how they're sticking to a story of which they are now bound. It's a rabbit hole they don't want you to go down. But over in Wisconsin, they're doubling down. See, they framed them once.
Then they did it again. They did not count on filmmakers making M.A.M.
They thought their lives were safe, all went by the ruse. They did not figure on 19 million views. It'll make you shake your head and probably frown. But
Over in Wisconsin,
they're doubling down. I said they'll double down, and they'll triple down. They're headed down a road which they cannot turn around. They walk around like they'll be home free.
Hello, Alonzo.
Because they control all the evidence on the local judges and felons
is the state's AG, but I got some news.
It's as plain as day. It doesn't matter what the state or the guilty say. Because we got Kathleen. She's got them in her sights.
Hi, guys.
She's a real life hero, turning wrongs to rights. No matter how
Hard that state's gavel pounds. Over in Wisconsin, they're doubling down.
I said no matter how hard that state's gavel pound, their house of cards isn't coming down. It'll make you shake your head, probably frown. Said over
Hello, all my
Wisconsin,
Wisconsinites.
they're coming down. Over in Wisconsin, they're coming down.
And to be perfectly honest, I actually wasn't planning on going live, really, necessarily. But then I was on my way home and I saw that dingus that you're all looking at here got away with it. And I'm just like, oh, God. What is it with Wisconsin putting 10-year-olds on trial as adults, not making any adults responsible for anything? I mean, what is it there? Is it something in the water? What is it? I just don't get it. What's everybody? So let me check in what everybody's saying here real quick. But let me switch over back to me so y'all can see me. I know you don't want to stare at Len Kachinsky all day. That's for sure, right? Here I am. Hello. So, yeah. So this whole thing, yeah, dingus. You guys like that one? Great. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, when I saw it was like not guilty, I was just going like, come on. You know, I just like, was anybody watching the footage? How did the 45 minutes of creepy staring at the clerk while making a little toy he had go meow, 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 how'd that get explained to the jury? Or did Wisconsin make sure that the jury never saw any evidence of that? I unfortunately didn't get to watch any footage of Lynn's trial. I would have loved to, but unfortunately I'm busy paying the bills during the time when those things are on, and then I don't have time to look at them when I get home, unfortunately. But if anybody out there has seen it, was that addressed? How did that very creepy incident get explained? Thank you. Now I can look. Let's see here. Hey, Jerome. Hello, crazy Airedale 80. You can't explain the cat toy to a jury. Right? I mean, so how did it? So one of two things happened here. Either that got explained sufficiently, or the judge made sure the jury didn't hear anything about it. So which one is it? Does anybody here know? Because the articles I read didn't seem to tell me much. They brought the jury pizza. Scene opening statement only. Okay. He was so composed and relaxed on the stand. Case was pretty weak. Hard to convict someone of stalking when the alleged crime was committed at work. I don't care, dude. 45 minutes creepily staring while stroking a cat toy. I don't care. There's no context for me where that's acceptable. Anybody here think, is there some context in which somebody doing that for 45, unless it's like, I don't know, some game that you and your spouse play to get in the mood where you build the anticipation or something, but for to happen at work or anywhere else, I mean, in any situation maybe other than that one possibly, how would this be explained and acceptable? Len Kachinsky's behavior, I don't see how it could be explained. Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't just like he sat there for a minute, right? It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like it was just a minute or anything like that. It was, from the reports I've heard, it was 45 minutes. Let's say it was less than 40. Let's just say it was 30 minutes. Even if he stood staring at her for 30 minutes with the little cat toy going meow, 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 I just don't see how I just don't see how that's acceptable in any situation, really. I just don't. Unless you're playing with your cat, even then it's a stretch, right? From what I understand. Are you guys able to see the video, by the way? Is it coming through? Yeah, some awkward foreplay. Yeah, it certainly would be. Yeah, but if he was doing an insanity plea, because I did read that he's actually now going to be petitioning the Supreme Court so he can be a judge again, because he's been suspended as a judge by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. It's like, I don't know, dude. I don't care what explanation is. I just don't see that as acceptable in any way, shape, or form. I see it as more of a problem because it was at work, that kind of behavior at work. I see that as actually a bigger problem. Video is working? Okay. I'm sorry. The reason why I asked is because on my end, it's spinning. So I was just making sure you guys can still see me. So, sorry. Panel was split 9-3. Seriously ridiculous. How did he get past the bar exam? Just let's hope that the Supreme Court denies his motion. I think they should deny his motion, to be reinstated as a judge, because let me tell you something. When the whole Len Kachinsky thing first started going down, a couple of guilters, got in my inbox and were talking to me about Len, and they were telling me that the people there in the area, they had been worried about Len ever since he went into the hospital. There was this point where he went into the hospital. He got sick or something and went into the hospital. And even the clerk kind of affirms that that's kind of when his behavior started to change. And so a couple people that are in the area and actually kind of in those circles a little bit and everything said that it's been kind of known that Len's kind of getting a little bit woo, And so I don't think they should be reinstating him as a judge. Fine. They let him off for his creepy behavior. Fine. But man, dude, I think he's done being a judge. Okay? If for nothing else, well, if not for what he did to Brendan, then what he did for 45 minutes with this court clerk. I mean, that's just unacceptable behavior. You don't need that going forward, Wisconsin. You don't need that kind of stuff. You don't need any more black eyes from Len Kachinsky. Let me tell you, Wisconsin leadership, you really don't. Let him go. Just let that one go. Okay? He's getting a little bit boop, boop, up here. I think it's pretty obvious. Don't put him in a position to be able to get into this mess again. That's my advice. Think of it what you like. Let's see here. I hope they require a psych evaluation. Yeah, I think, because that's what I heard, is that he was getting a little bit, loopy, or just a little bit like he wasn't all there. So that's what I was hearing. And so hopefully, I was surprised to hear that he was going to be petitioning to get his judgeship back. That made me just go, oh my God. I hope these people that were concerned about his mental health are jumping into action at this very moment. I hope. Okay, great. I don't know why mine. I just wanted to make sure. Don't think I'm not saying sexually harassing, but I'm sorry. Staring across a hallway or a room at somebody for 45 minutes while stroking a cat toy and making it meow, it may not be sexual harassment, but it's certainly harassment of some kind. I'm sure she was very uncomfortable, didn't know what to do, was afraid if she spoke up or said anything that she would get reprimanded and probably fired. And so she probably had all kinds of terrifying thoughts going through her head that entire 45 minutes while he was just sitting there enjoying himself stroking a cat toy. Right? That's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. You got to look at he was in the position of power and he was manipulating it. And I am sure she felt very uncomfortable. Is it buffering? Let me try something. All right. I don't know. Hopefully it's getting better. I closed down some tabs. How's it now? Is it better? I hope. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so all right. How does a judge who's been on trial for harassment, etc., ever get trusted to cover domestic violence and stuff like that? Like I said, I think they need to have Lynn hang up the robe at this point. It's time for Lynn to hang it up. I think it should have been time for Lynn. I think there should have never been a need for Lynn to hang it up. I can't believe the man was made a judge after what he did to Brendan. But putting that aside, it's now time for him to hang up the robes. I think I dreamed about LK and KK nude wrestling. Ugh, Jesus. Where are my moderators? I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to think about that. Buffered for a second for me and then recovered. Okay, great. As long as y'all can see me still, that's great. Okay. I think the inference could easily be taken as sexual harassment. Well, whatever kind of harassment it was, I'm sure it was harassment. I'm sure she felt very uncomfortable. And he was in the position of power, and I'm sure she felt very, very intimidated to even tell anyone about it. And I'm sure that was a very, very uncomfortable 45 minutes for that young lady. So that's just the way I think. That's just the way it strikes me. Has anybody ever talked with the couple that's seen Steven in town? I had Dave on my channel here. One of my first lives. I think it was in the first week or two of doing lives after October 19th. So you'll notice the name Dave Bagaka. And he was actually on with me, talking with me. There's a bar exam in Wisconsin, with the exception being if a grad of the University of Wisconsin or Marquette School of Law. Yeah. You have to live in Wisconsin to have any of this Keystone Law stuff. I feel a promotion coming on for Len probably end up on the 13. Everyone, please stay on topic until he opens it up for other discussions. Let's see. How does a lawyer become a judge after breaking the law, scam his own clients into being a witness? Right. Yeah, what Len and O'Kelly did to Brendan, I mean, they basically just wrapped him up in a bow and sent him down the river, essentially. I mean, the important thing that you have to think about here is what was used at Brendan's trial to incriminate him. Okay, well, there was two things. There was one thing was the confession. But I think Brendan handled himself pretty damn well on the stand. And he stood up to the prosecution's cross-examination. And that is the testimony he gave under oath. I think that probably was helping the jury maybe get over this, maybe getting them to understand that this confession may have been coerced and stuff like that or whatever, until the prosecution plays the call of Brendan talking to his mother on the jail phone, which was recorded, which was all a product of Wiegert and Fassbender, which wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for O'Kelly, who wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Len Kachinsky. So the chain of events that leads to that audio recording is, to me, similar to what they call fruit of the poisonous tree. It's not exactly the same thing, but for me, ultimately, that piece of evidence in court originated with Brendan's lawyer's ineffective assistance of counsel, and then the investigators coming in and coercing him once again, and intimidating him once again, and getting him to say that on the prison phone. So that's the way I feel about that. So it's so, anyways, how many others did he do it to? Who knows? Actually, I don't even know how to answer that question. One person came forward, and look what happened. I'm sure if there's any others, they'll never talk about it ever. If you graduate from Marquette Law, and yes, that's what I was saying, yes. Marquette School of Law or the University of Wisconsin School of Law, you don't have to pass the bar. They won't do that to people that play back for them. This whole situation makes me sick. Rubber Ducky, please tell me you at least have to be a doctor to be a coroner in Wisconsin. Let's see here. Oh, Rubber Ducky's here. Hello, Rubber Ducky. Let's see. You have certainly got several fans of your work in Hangouts chat. I think it was to fortify Len's credibility. Yeah. Damn Vikings. Let's see here. I wonder if there will be any other crimes committed in that area that expose other evidence. Could be. It's been a while now, though. I don't know. It's an interesting possibility, I have to say. Then, let's see. Looks and acts like a sociopath to me. It is so damn disturbing. I can't even look at him, and he creeps me out. Brendan would have been better with no lawyer, right? No lawyer, pro se essentially. Better off. He would have been better off pro se than to have Len Kachinsky. That's for sure. In fact, the dissenting en banc judges used that exact wording. Yeah, apparently all criminals and crooks on the corporate side should move to Wisconsin. They would never get in trouble. Hey, Rubber Ducky, how you doing? We haven't met personally, but a lot of people in my hangout are very fond of you and your videos. So, welcome. I got to get back to work. Bye, everyone. Hey, we'll see you at the Millbilly Jeeves, buddy. Pull this closer. Hey, Josh from Louisiana. I would hope that all Len's legal troubles would warrant some kind of vetting or questioning his ability to hold that position. I don't think that the Wisconsin Supreme Court should give him his... I don't think they should give him his judgeship back. I think he should be done now. I think he's done. He should be anyway. They may give it back to him, but they shouldn't. If only Brendan would have just not said a word, I wonder how they would have singled in on Stephen Avery. That's interesting. Yeah, had they not been able to get at Brendan and coerce this very convoluted story out of him. Yeah, absolutely. I've wondered with LK if he made the wrong guys mad and this whole thing was a massive threat of their power over him. Who knows? Yep. Rugger Ducky, definitely welcome. Let's see. Made for TV movie, and let's see, Rubber Ducky. If LK looks like a predator, sounds like a predator, and walks like a predator. That's funny, T1. That's funny. Yes, I want to make sure she has the link. Let's see. They were after SA by all means necessary. I agree, Erekose. He should not be a judge and just go away. I agree. I mean, I think he's done at this point, and just trust me, by what I heard from people that were kind of in the area and know those circles. Yeah, I mean, just by that, I know that he is getting a little dodgy, and I think if the Wisconsin Supreme Court has any sense, they're not going to give him his judgeship back. That's the way they should go. May not be what they do, but that's what they should do. What itches my head is, are they doing it for money, power, loyalty, or because they don't know any better? They're all very strange. Wonder what they do for fun. I dread to think. Okay. I can't believe he didn't even get a slap on the wrist. I personally, well, as long as he doesn't get his judgeship back, I'll be happy, I guess. Yeah. Well, I just hope he doesn't get his judgeship back anyway. I suspect that Brendan has a medical condition that is undiagnosed, which is a higher functioning form of autism. I suspect that he should be checked for Asperger's. And I think I've heard a lot of people say that. I believe I heard he's been checked out for Asperger's, but I'm not sure. 5 minutes would have been too long. The guy needs a jail cell, not a judge. Not Judge Chambers. Yeah. Brendan doesn't have Asperger's, in my opinion. My sister has it, and she's highly intelligent. All cases should be reviewed after violating ethics. Yeah, I agree. I mean, what claim? There's no way to explain that type of behavior away to me. They want to let Len off the hook. Okay, but if you put this guy back in a position to do it again, then I mean, yeah. Then those people putting him back in that position, I think, become culpable for his actions, in my opinion. Does anyone know how old LK is? I think he's in his 60s now. Is it true that he told people on his lawyer FB page to not friend BD? And did BD, in fact, message him? Or is that just crap talk? Not too caught with that side of it. I don't know. I hadn't heard about that, but I suppose it's possible. I think he's about 60, yeah. How can nothing stick to these corrupt individuals in Wisconsin? Doesn't Wisconsin know the world is watching now? Yeah. How long before they trim the fat for the negative attention? I don't know, T1, but it's something I've been thinking about, that some people in Wisconsin are eventually here pretty soon going to start going, why are we doing this? Why are we continuing to get this black eye? And why are we continuing to allow worldwide attention to be, focused on us? I mean, I imagine somebody at some point is going to, hopefully, or some politicians or some people in positions of power will eventually get on board and find a problem with this and want to deal with it head on. Maybe the appellate judges will decide. Who knows? It's time for retirement then. I do believe. That's what I believe Len needs, is retirement. Yet they based all kinds of things SABD never did off of odd behaviors, which none of them actually involved doing anything wrong, right? He has been in this system long enough to collect his pension. Best to just walk away with his pension. Yeah, I mean, it's especially if his mind is going. Yeah, if his mind is going, it's time to let him walk away. It's really time to let him walk away. I think he's done enough damage at this point. I don't think we need to put him back in the position to do this again. Topic at the moment is Len Kachinsky. Len clearly just didn't believe in his client, and that's not the way a lawyer should work. Absolutely. Kathleen Zellner didn't even violate a contract with a murderer until after he died and with his permission. Absolutely. You're talking about Eiler. It's Larry Eiler, I believe, is Larry. Larry is his name, I believe. Anyway, yes. That's that's what she did. So it's about doing the right thing with Zellner, not just winning. It's about doing the right thing. That's what she proved with Eiler, in my opinion. Yes, Linda, that wasn't for you. Okay, T1. I think it will be a while because it looks like it runs deep and everyone complicit of everything. I think there's a culture of corruption there, and I think that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are, for whatever reason, a big focal point for that culture. Time to put the hammer down in Wisconsin. he can spend his time with his cats. He's also terminally ill. I don't know about the terminally ill, but I mean, even when I saw him in Making a Murder or Two, just watching him talk and everything, I was wondering if he was still kind of operating on all cylinders. I kind of felt like he was getting a little bit, you know what I mean? That was just by listening to him in MAM too. So people have a hard time walking away from power when it's all they have. That's true. It's beyond the time when he could walk away. Absolutely. With grace. Yeah, and just slink away quickly. Absolutely. Lin K also seems to have a condition as well. He should be able to get a criminal insanity plea. Well, he didn't need it because he got a not guilty. So, yeah, as amazing as that is. Do any lawyers turning judge have to go through any mental and behavior testing, I think you mean? I'm actually not sure about that. Too bad Travis isn't here. He might be able to field that question. They said that his prognosis was about 5 years. Ducky, he was acquitted. Yeah. I have zero desire to go to Wisconsin now. Place sounds horrible. No offense to any if hey, you know what though? I will say this. I was in Wisconsin. And you can say what you like about it's kind of what's going on there in some ways with law enforcement and their judicial system and stuff. But let me say this. Wisconsin is a very beautiful place. I gotta give Wisconsin its props on that. When I was driving in from Green Bay, it was just lush green turf rolling off into the, dark green trees and everything. I mean, it was just idyllic. Very, very beautiful country there. Now, once you start driving on the roads and seeing residences, you tend to see about one building on each property that's got that looks like it's about to fall down. But I just imagine that's from the extreme temperature changes and the snow and everything every year. I imagine it's probably hard to upkeep things there, but I did think that was kind of funny. But driving in on the interstate from Green Bay, absolutely beautiful. Wisconsin is absolutely beautiful place. And its people can work on getting the justice system in order and getting the justice right. But I'll tell you what, they're working with beautiful country there. Yeah. See you later, Sweezy. LK's cat name AM1 was trying to tell us this dude's nuts. Yeah. I'm from Oregon. Cheese is way better. Oh, Tillamook. I have Tillamook cheese in my refrigerator. Or over there, actually. I'm not sure who is worse, Kachinsky or O'Kelly. It's yeah, I mean, it's the bad leading the bad. I mean, who knows? Why do you have to pick? One idiot brought in the other idiot. Wisconsin has an opportunity to reinvent itself. It's a beautiful place. It is really. I gotta say, that was one thing that I found impressive about it. Driving in from Green Bay is just it was just very beautiful. Just a nice, calm drive in. Just looking at just like really idyllic countryside kind of, because the freeway is just in the middle of this area where it's just green turf for about probably usually about 30 yards or so, and then there's like a tree line, and it's really beautiful. And then I was staying at a hotel that was actually on the lake, and that was pretty cool. And so I got to see, there was actually right outside of our hotel, I don't know if everybody knows this, but they used to build submarines in Manitowoc. That's kind of one of that's one of the things they were famous for. They still had one of the submarines there right next to the hotel. That was kind of cool. Anyway, Wisconsin's a fun place. It's a cool place if you can get past what you're learning about it from making a murderer. The only reason I'm saying all this is because I don't want people to be dead set against Wisconsin. It has its problems, but it's a good place too. And some of the people that are in this chat are from Wisconsin. I think, they like to have a little bit of pride about where they live, of course. And it's a touchy subject. So that's why I'm saying so many nice things about Wisconsin, because it actually was a really, really nice place. I didn't have any trouble with law enforcement, so I had an enjoyable trip. I didn't even have any contact with law enforcement, so. First case ever to get not guilty in the Wisconsin. Why was Kratz never charged with his harassment? Yeah, OLR let him off the hook. The officer of lawyer regulation let him off the hook. I mean, if you guys go back and listen to the video I uploaded with what was the reporter? I can't remember the reporter's name, but the reporter was basically asking Kratz about the sexting scandal, and Kratz was going, "This is not a news event. This is not a news event." And that whole thing in there, you get the whole transition of you understand why Kratz never got in trouble for this, because the OLR found no violation, and because the OLR found no violation, that basically means he was off the hook. So yeah, it's a corrupt culture, that's basically what it is. I live in Wisconsin. There's a lot of nice places here, but once you get into the city, it gets bad. I can be pretty up there, or it can be pretty up there. Yeah, absolutely. Corruption is everywhere. The spotlight just happens to be on this situation. That's also probably a fair statement, Audra. I talked with a few of the city police. They were very welcoming and friendly, and by all accounts, the Manitowoc City Police Department are good, law-abiding, good cops. From almost every account I've heard, Manitowoc Police Department is really good, really good. Now, the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department's a different situation, and that actually leads me to another point I wanted to talk about real quick, which was whenever you are getting becoming an activist about something, always make sure you do your homework. So if you're pissed off at, for instance, here's an example, right? So if you're pissed off at the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department because you just watched this documentary and you can't believe those jerks and the kind of crap they get away with, and so you want to let that Sheriff's Department know how you feel, make sure that you find out who you're contacting, because what you don't want to do is contact the Manitowoc City Police Department and tell them what pieces of trash they are and blah 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 and all that stuff you wanted to fire at the sheriff's department, but you accidentally called the police department. These are the things when you become an activist in these sort of things, you got to be careful of. Do your homework. Make sure you're going after the right entity. Make sure you're not turning other entities against you or the person you're trying to represent and fight for, right? You don't want to make more enemies, right? So you want to make sure you're under control, and you want to make sure you know exactly where you're going with it, because I cannot tell you how many people made the mistake. They watch Making a Murderer and they get all fired up, and instead of they don't make the distinction between the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department and the Manitowoc City Police Department. They don't make that differentiation, and they just call the police department and dump all their crap on the police department, which doesn't necessarily have anything against Stephen, Avery, and Brendan. I don't know. They may not. They may not. But the point is that they have no reason to care until a bunch of people call them and start harassing them. Then they suddenly form an opinion. And let me tell you, the opinion that they form isn't favorable to Stephen and Brendan. So, just wanted to go ahead and say that real quick. Let's see. So when is O'Kelly's trial? Yeah, right. Seems like everyone involved in this on the prosecution side is facing some kind of criminal behavior activity. Oh, except for the corrupt SA trial. Right. Serial killers can be pretty nice too. Actions mean more than attitudes. Right. They have to say that there's us a direction. There is a direct connection between Michael Glazer, the medical examiner that signed Teresa's death certificate, and Michael Bushman. Ah, interesting. Does Glazer work at the mortuary like that his family owns? Is that what it is, Rubber Ducky? Know the laws and be respectful and classy. That's true. Let's see. I never respect the system that doesn't respect me and people like me. Absolutely. Just like I said, just make sure you're going after the right people. Just don't go off like a loose cannon and end up pissing off another entire group at Stephen and Brendan that weren't previously pissed off at Stephen and Brendan, right? That's the main point I'm making here. I understand people's anger. I can't do anything about that. People are going to do what they're going to do, but at least I can hopefully get everybody to focus it properly. At least if I can at least get that, then it's some measure of solace. So correct, great advice, guys. We are not talking about the bones right now. People who aren't familiar with the rural areas may not understand that there is a difference. Is there a hangout afterwards? You can join it. There's a hangout going all the time, Sean. There's a. It was called Cozy Heads. It's now called Avery Dassey Support. But that hangout is 24/7. If you join it, you can take part in the conversation whenever you want. And I would suggest, if you need help with making your phone not buzz anymore, hit me up on Messenger and I'll show you how to do that. Let's see here. Australia is not free of corruption. I think we handle it well, though. We have a royal commission recently into police corruption in Victoria. Please do not use profanity during the live. Was only answering a question about the bones someone had, sorry. Yeah, bad language is tacky. Erekose well said. Awesome live, brother. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, T1. Thank you, buddy. My mom told me that. Yeah, my mom told me that. I love it. Hulk smash the like button. Yes, smash. Hit that like button, folks. Let's see here. All hours of the night. Yeah, that chat hops all the time.
Power off.
That chat hops all the time. All right, Rubber Ducky, please join the hangout via so that I think everybody understands. If you want to join the hangout, you're free to. On my last count, there was over 40 people in there, so it's just like a constant MAM discussion in there. You can pretty much tune into it at any point in the day, and there's generally a couple people in there talking about some aspect of the case. So if you want, that's there. It's available resource if you guys want to join it. So just so you know. My moderators will continue to leave link for it, and so let's see. Oh, is everybody counting the likes? Let's see. Can we crat slap the like button? There you go. That's one way of doing it. What's your opinion on Scott Walker opening the floodgates by appointing 82 appointees for Wisconsin as a lame duck governor? He did what he did. He did what he could do. You got to look at that, Sala, as like he was in his dying throes, and in his dying throes, because he was on his way out, so he went out kicking and screaming, and those 82 appointments are him kicking and screaming on the way out. I guess that's the way I would look at it anyway. Let's see here. Will we be able to read what KZ files on the 20th? Absolutely. It may be available that very day, or it'll be available on the 21st. But yes, we will have it. You'll know what it says before Christmas Day, before Christmas Eve. It'll probably be on the between the 20th and the 23rd. But the document usually comes out the same day or the next day. But this is going to be a long one because she just got her word count upped. She got approved for 35,000 words. Hey, Stacy, what's up, buddy? She just got approved for her word count to go to 35,000. So I was talking to Travis earlier, and he was saying essentially like 11,000 words equates to about 50 pages. So if you take that times 3, that would be 33,000, right? So we can expect this is probably going to be 150 pages, 160 pages maybe, possibly up to 170. So this is going to be a long one. It may take me a day to process, grab screenshots, put everything together and everything. So it may take me a day on this one. It's going to be long. It's going to be, like I said, if it ends up being about 150 pages, that's going to be a read. And then putting that all together is a bit of a task. Question for you: has it crossed your mind that Brendan brought up, not necessarily guessing, but however saying things he had seen being exposed to them by his own brother Bobby? I don't honestly follow with that. I personally don't. I see why some people see maybe something in that. I just personally don't. I don't think Brendan knew anything. My feeling about Brendan is he was absolutely guessing. He knew nothing of what was really happening. He was just lost. He was a babe in the woods, essentially, really. And that's really the way I feel about it. Sounds like a new song title. Just close the chat, and the like is there. Okay. My mom loved it. Thank you. Hey, Stacy, you're distracting everybody, buddy. It's nice to catch Erekose live for once. Hey, man, it's great to have you here, buddy. Love it. Let's see here. And I thought she looked cute. Okay. I showed my grandson the video today. Oh, hey, I'm on TV. That's funny. Let's see. The new Avery Road video is cool. When he was questioned, he said those came from Kiss the Girls. He did claim that some of his story came from the book or movie Kiss the Girls. Governor of Wisconsin Evers named Strang head of the criminal justice reform today. Oh, really? Nice. Good job, Evers. Nice. Looks like Evers is paying attention. By putting Strang in a position like that, that was smart. I gotta say, that's a pretty smart move. That's a forward-thinking move right there. I'm actually not on the Scott and Bobby train. I steer more towards Ryan. I kind of favor Ryan myself still, to be perfectly honest. The more I find out about him, the more that bugs me, the more that bothers me. Dassey is a welcome distraction. He absolutely is a welcome distraction. Dassey is a friend of the channel, and he's always welcome, and no matter how much of a distraction he is. Thanks, Dassey, for editing the video. I'm saying it didn't come from the books, but rather from his own brother. I get what you're saying, Caden. I get what you're saying. It's not personally what I think. After everything you have seen, read, experienced, what is your theory of what actually happened? See, a lot of people keep asking me that. That's not what I'm doing here on my channel. But if you're going to ask me what I think somehow the sheriff's department planted the blood in the RAV4, and I kind of think Ryan did it. But I see the merit. I see the merit in the case that Kathleen Zellner's making with Ryan and Scott. I see the merit there, of course. So I'm open-minded. I'm waiting for more evidence to present itself before I jump to any conclusions, because this is important, folks. If you need a reminder of this, go back and watch my interview with G-Man Moore, retired FBI agent, because you have to understand that what's going on in this thing is everything is just jacked up here. The investigation is so bad. It's just so bad. When you look at this investigation and you look at this evidence, you can't. I'll put it this way: Steve Moore did not feel any more willing to say that Stephen Avery was guilty, but he wasn't willing to say he was innocent either. That's the sign of a bad investigation, a poor investigation. That's what that's a sign of. And because we have such a poor investigation, which leads me to this point, is because we have such a poor investigation, it's hard to say exactly what happened. I have a couple of feelings about what I think happened, but I don't know exactly, because so many avenues in this investigation didn't get explored because everything was being pointed at Stephen. And yeah, when you have such a poor investigation, it's hard to know exactly what happened. So right now, I feel that there's a case for Ryan, and I feel that there's a case for Bobby and Scott. And there could possibly be a case for some unknown individual who was harassing Teresa by phone. That person may not exist, and that person may be Ryan, of course. That's a possibility. But if you want to ask me what I think, that's what I think. You're not going to get a solid answer out of me, because I can't get a solid answer out of this investigation, I guess. When it comes down to it, I guess that sums it up. Let's see. Thanks, Amber. Much appreciated. Let's see here. If Teresa actually made it home, there's a lot of ways this could have gone. That's true. Did she make it home? How did Ryan get the day planner? Absolutely. Could the unidentified blood on the RAV4 free Avery if it's from someone else? I don't know if it could free him, but it would help. It would help create more doubt. You tell us on the day. We all know, right? No judgment here. I have my opinions, but one thing for sure: Brendan out. Brendan out. Yeah, so I agree. I'm 100%, absolutely 100% rock solid about Brennan being innocent. I mean, there's no budging for me on that. I am certain. Would Ryan have known TH was going to the Avery salvage yard? Could he have thought the cops would love to stitch SA? I think anybody in that area probably knew that they could pin stuff on Stephen Avery and the cops would go for it, hook, line, and sinker. I think anybody in the area knew that because they were so open about it. I think, yeah, I just think anybody could have. Erekose with more loved his breakdown and options on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he breaks it down well. And I do hope to have another conversation with him soon, maybe in about a month or so. I don't know. Whenever I work it out with them. But I do want to sit down and talk with him about his blog for you guys, and go through the things he said in his blog, because a lot of things he said in his blog were brilliant, just brilliant. You tell us on the day we all know. Yeah. Would Ryan have known TH was going to the Avery salvage yard? Could he have thought the cops would just love to? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying if she did. I understand what you mean, Erekose. You don't want to get bogged down with the whom, but it makes you wonder, obviously. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I obviously wonder about these things. I see the merits in the theories, but I'm just not really willing to sign off on any particular theory just yet. I'm just still... I still want to see more. I want to see more, or I want to see the evidentiary hearing, and I want to see what's going to come from the adversarial process, and see what's going to get brought up there, and how that might affect the way I'm looking at some of this evidence. So, whatever happens, some critical thinking still needs to happen with all this, and that's what I'm really waiting for. Oh, Brennan out now? Yes, right. Let's see. Ryan signed in with Scott, and yeah, they signed in on the. And then there's the news interview where they're saying they've never been there, and it's been crime scene and taped off and secured, and he's offering so many terms to qualify his statement that it was taped off and secured, and like. Instead of just saying, yeah, it was secured by the police department, he's like feeling the need to continue explaining it. I always found that interesting. I think the police had the strongest motive. It's probably way too late now, but did anyone check the smelter back then? Oh, yes, the Avery's smelter? Yeah, no sign. Nothing, no sign of anything there. Road trip to Wisconsin, spring 2019. Better to travel in groups. That's why when I was going to Wisconsin, I was glad my homeboy Mark Hodnott was going there too. So him and I could travel around and be travel buddies. So that we're, like I said, like you just said, strength in numbers. So yeah, similar deal. Thank you so much, Caden. I think Mike is covering for his friend Ryan, with it seeming that Mike and TH had kinds of strained relationships stemming from the abusive relationship she had with RH. I don't know that Mike and RH are friends, though. That's one thing I'm not sure of. I honestly believe there was one murderer. However, upon discovering the murder, there was a group collaboration to frame SA. Yeah, I think maybe somebody else murdered her, but I think once that was discovered, I think that's when the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department went to work. It's saying there we're allowed to be on the property. I know who did it. Hillary Clinton. I can prove it too. I have these cheeseburgers I planted. HC's DNA. Ducky, I didn't remember Scott freaking about the clothes mix-up. RH and Scott B. both signed in at 9 a.m. and left after 9:30 on November 7th. An hour later, the electronics were found in the barrel. However, Bushman had all experts focused on Cuss Road. Yeah, on the 7th, he did. Yeah, she's absolutely right. Bushman called all this attention to a BS site that was basically just a dead tree, a decaying stump, really. And it called all the crime scene techs and a bunch of manpower all the way over to the Cuss Road side of the Avery property. And yeah, that's absolutely 100% correct. And yeah, that's a very interesting point, Rubber Ducky. Thank you for that. Let's see. I want to see Fact Bender on the stand and Zellner tear strips off him. Yeah. I think brother acts weird because he knew she was dead a lot earlier than the public. Let's see here. How did I know she was dead? Oh, how did I get access to her vehicle if I'm not the killer? Right. In what state or law enforcement agencies get automatic warrants to grant them unlimited days? It shouldn't have. Their warrant, from what I understand, their warrant didn't exactly allow that, but basically nobody was gonna, enforce it. Really, I think is what happened. I live in Wisconsin and I drive with dash cam on my truck. Mike's an odd one. He's laying really low and all this. Have you talked about the Sikaki letter to the police? I have a couple times. Obviously, Zellner has determined or is of the opinion that Sikaki is just somebody's very, very bad language skills and writing skills trying to write skinny, which was Scott Taddock's nickname at the smelter or at the foundry or whatever where he worked. So that is the current theory with the Sikaki letter. I don't know really what much more to say beyond that. It's not, the Sikaki letter is not something that I particularly delved into a whole lot. I mean, I've looked at it, I'm aware of it, I know the basics about it, but I know there's a lot of other people who have spent a lot of time trying to decipher that thing. I'm going to Wisconsin next year. Looking forward to it. Hey, like I said, it's a beautiful place. The worst crap in excavation I have ever seen. Cops do not have the special training to do that. They turned away the dang coroner. If you saw Kratz, would you guys go up to him and tell him what a piece of crap he is? I do like Wisconsin, but I listen to my spidery senses. I'm going to move to Wisconsin, quit my PC coolant business, and become a stockbroker, and I'll screw all the rich people out of their money and get away with it. Sikaki is Turkish slang for variation of the F word. Oh, that's interesting. I honestly have always thought RH did it and no one else knows. Maybe suspicious, but no. One really knows, so law enforcement used him to help frame. Yeah, that's what Zellner believes. We continue to work hard for the MAM French channel. We send you all our love. Hey, thank you, Jerome. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And I send you guys my love too. Keep spreading awareness around the world. So I hope you guys reach a lot of ears in France. Let's see. I would make him a sandwich, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't like bread. No one ever mentions sweat and Kratz in the same sentence. Yeah, nobody ever did that. Nope. Yeah. Much love to Steven and Brennan. Hope they are freed soon. Erekose, love the videos. Just made my first 2 live streams today and yesterday. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, Bran. Look forward to seeing you on many more live streams, of course. I don't think Sikaki means skinny. That's fine. I phrased it as that's the way that Kathleen Zellner's reasoning. So I did not offer that as my own opinion. So, but I agree. I understand what you're saying, that if those that think it doesn't stand for skinny, I can understand what you mean. PB of MAM black belt. Hoya! Kumite! Let's see. The way Scott Tadek reacted to the SMS from the RAV4 witness is suspicious as hell. I filed bankruptcy to get out of those being the deputy corrections careers because the last call forward was unanswered at 2:27 p.m. Wait, wasn't it at like 2:35? Anyway, Cheech Kruger, not Auto Trader. Davis was the big stock car guy. Apparently, YouTube says I walk too much. Lols. Maybe YouTube can give itself a break from commercials. Did you get my messages? I thought it said you'd be on at 10 tomorrow, so I sent you my opinions. I saw something in the group I read from you, Arlene. Your dedication is unmatched by many others in Hangouts that have followed the cause. Very inspiring, and many who have just joined and started this crazy journey off the charts. Hey, look, it's great. I love that I'm able to create these little communities and that people are excited about them. Hey, please come take part in them. Talk about the case, argue it out, form your opinions, share them with other people in your life and other people that you meet that are into Making a Murderer, or when you find somebody that just watched Making a Murderer too, and take that opportunity to shed some of your education on them. Hey, if I'm helping to create that here, then I'm counting myself successful. Just on that alone, then I'm counting myself successful. Corruption is very and absolutely happens in law enforcement to the sheriff. Scott definitely has something to hide. Why get all worked up over allegations? Yeah, but Scott does have an anger issue, so I mean, I will say that. Why would Brendan tell that girl he's seen bones in the fire pit if he didn't know anything? I don't remember him telling a girl that. I remember Wiegert and Fassbender suggesting that he saw something in the pit, and then he spit back exactly what they said. So I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to there. We hope you will be our first guest on the MAM Friends channel. It will be an honor. Absolutely, Jerome. Dude, I'm there. Dude. You guys gonna do a live? You gonna do a live hangout? Yeah, man. Hey, I'm there. Hopefully not too many of your listeners will be like complaining that there's a guy on there speaking English. But absolutely, I'd be very happy to, Jerome. I'll be there with my best tie on. I heard this somewhere that Scott pawned a .22 rifle. Not pawned. He was trying to sell a .22 rifle just after all this stuff happened. I heard it. He saw it on the news, and that girl was his cousin. Someone in the state has a lot of clout. Someone in high control, along with Kratz. Let's see. Group and hangout, I mean. Let's see. He didn't tell Kayla he saw a body in the fire. She made it up. There you go. Listen to Allie. She knows what she's talking about. Getting back to Len, because I cannot stand the guy or his sicko sidekick. Did you watch the trial and what got him off? I actually didn't, Jay. Because I work every day, I really couldn't. And lately, when I get home, I'm so busy, like trying to read something, going live or doing a video, chatting with some people, about some whatever pieces of evidence and things like that. And so my days have gotten kind of clogged. But I didn't really get a chance to review much of Len Kachinsky's trial. I hope I might find some time this coming weekend to look at it, but chances are I'll have something new I need to be looking at by that point. So, but yeah. Keats seemed to have led the entire case, but now someone higher than Kratz has someone higher up than the judge on his side. Gotta go, buddy. Oh, we'll see you, T1. I was saying thank you for our hangouts. Did Scott's trailer catch fire? Yes, from what I understand, his trailer burned down. Thank you, Erekose Rock Bro. You're welcome, Jerome. Okay, no problem. Let's see. Brennan didn't say that he saw her in the fire. The cop suggested exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. So yeah, listen to Rubber Ducky. She's got it right there. Please make a video on Ryan Hilligas's reaction in MAM2. In the clip from when Buting asks him the name of the first officer he talked to, his response screams guilt. I did do a video. I think I have a video about that, but I only did it with the transcripts. Maybe I'll have to see what I can do to find in some video. Len and Kratz might be related. They're both the same. Yeah, definitely. My favorite part yet of all of this is how clean Steven and his nephew cleaned up everything. Exactly. Len smiles too much. I was on the Iran's message board, and they finally caught the guy after 40 years. Now maybe we will get lucky and resolve this case. There is hope. Let's see. He makes me sick. He was abused women the whole time, prosecuting someone, in my opinion, who has moral standard than he. Yeah. Well, you're talking about Kratz, and absolutely. Kratz is just, yeah. Erekose, I keep being late for all these live chats. What needs to be done so I don't? Well, today was a kind of quick one. I didn't decide I was going to do it until I was on my way home from work. I got home from work and gave everybody probably roughly about 40 minutes notice because I didn't want to wait till too late. So the reason why you missed today's... Let me ask you this. Are you following the Erekose MAM Facebook page? If you follow that, most of the time, you're going to get a notification because I'm going to post usually in there. I post it. And Facebook's pretty good about giving you notifications if you're following something. If you go and like it and then follow my page, you'll most likely not miss much because I did post it in there tonight. And those who like the page and follow the page will most likely get an alert or a notification to most of my videos and lives. Stacy's music video, We All Live on Avery Road. Yes, everybody check that out. I didn't even know about his Fab Dada. I've been into this for at least 2 years. Now I originally wouldn't watch MAM because Steven looked so guilty on the promo, the picture that is, and I finally watched it and immediately I fell in love with him. Do you think live chats about do you do live chats about the staircase? I am actually kind of trying to get David Rudolph on to talk right now. My friend of mine that went to Amsterdam and saw him and Jerry speak together, spoke to him, and he basically said, he might be willing to come on to my channel. So I have reached out to him in a tweet. But I'm going to go ahead and wait a week because right now I'm trying to deal with reading John Frack's book to potentially get him in here. And so I got a lot going on at the moment. I'm also reviewing something else and making notes for a potential interview coming down the line. So I got a few things on my plate, and I'm just trying to get to him as best I can. So bear with me, folks. LOL, he looks guilty. Let's see, the only bell I know about is the one on the fridge. My son likes to ring it when it's time to eat. If M.A.M. was a movie, no one would believe a screenplay like that. Yeah. Sorry, Facebook page, Erekose. Didn't know there was one. Sorry, I will check. Yeah, I know. I was just trying to give people a way that they'll get the notification, because I know when you follow something on Facebook, when you actually go that extra step of following it, then Facebook's pretty good about making sure you know whenever something gets posted there. And I usually do post most all of what I do here on YouTube. I post it there. Sometimes not with as much notice as I would like. Sometimes sometimes it's 15 to 30 minutes before, and I do apologize for that, but it's the one thing I do to try to give more people the ability to find out that I'm going to be on and that they can come and see me. So it's just one. I don't say that as like, oh my God, how could you not have done this? I'm just suggesting it as one way for people to potentially get those notifications so that you don't miss it. I know you guys are very, very excited about seeing me live and stuff, and so I want you to be able to do that. So it's just one way I'm suggesting as a tool so that you can hopefully not miss too many of these shows I do. Cool, Jerome. And I think a lot more people are. I've been getting so many followers on Twitter recently. It's been ridiculous. I think I must have gotten 100 followers in the last couple weeks. If they turn on alerts on YouTube, you will get them. That's also true. If you hit the bell, like if you're watching me on your phone right now and you go down below the video, there's a little bell there. If you hit that, that should make sure that's you telling YouTube, I want to know whenever this person uploads something or whenever they're doing something, I want to know about it. And that's what happens if you hit the bell. I think it's also, the bell is also there on your PC. I think you just click on it with your mouse. But that bell is the key. That's how you tell YouTube, I do not want to miss a thing from this creator. You look me up as Erekose. The page name, for you folks that are asking, the page name is Erekose MAM. Erekose MAM. So Erekose, just like it is here, but MAM. And here, let me get you guys a link. I'll get you guys a link. Hold on a second. All right, here you guys go. Here's a link. Okay, so that is to my Facebook page. It's a public page. You don't have to ask to join or anything like that. It's just a public page. Go there and make sure you follow. Just like hit the follow button or whatever all the things there to make sure that you're telling them you want that page and you want notifications from that page. And then with that, hopefully that'll help you get the notifications of when I'm going on or when I have a video coming out. So I uploaded the video of it if you want. It was just a few videos back. You can go check it out. I put the whole Sturm Road with me and Mark. I made it its own little video. What was the benefit of Stephen and his mother not testifying in court? Wouldn't it have been good to have a story about him going to dinner with them? I don't know. I'm not sure about that decision. The so-called science to prove the blood didn't come from the vial was done in 2 weeks and testified by an FBI agent. I still believe it came from that vial. That's fine. That's perfectly fine if you believe that. Let's see, Bobby truck crashed, Stephen trailer burned. Stephen trailer burned? Stephen? Did you mean Scott? Let's see. Thanks, Erekose. You have made me feel important. He recently posted the video of Sturm Road. Yes, I did. Mandy, you are important. Absolutely. So, all right, I am gonna go ahead and call it there tonight, folks. Didn't mean to go too long tonight. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Len Kachinsky. Obviously, that's the bad news there. Wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that Kathleen did get the word count expanded to 35,000 words. That's going to make a pretty long filing on December 20th, so all of you be ready for that. It's going to be here. It's basically like reading another book. So be ready for that. And then I touched on the fact that all of you out there who are representing Stephen and Brendan and supporting for Stephen and Brendan, just make sure you do it right. Make sure that when you get fired up about something and you get mad about something, make sure you research it. Make sure you're not going off half cocked. Make sure you're directing your attention in the right place. These are very important things. I know some of you are sitting there going, "Shut up, Erekose, God, jeez." But I'm sorry, some people don't think of it because a lot of people did call the Manitowoc City Police Department and basically harassed them to the point that now they hate Stephen and Brendan. And they probably didn't hate Stephen and Brendan before, right? So it's important. I can't stress it enough. It's important to make sure you're aiming yourself in the right direction. Terribly important. I can't stress it enough. I am, in fact, you hear me sitting here repeating it and repeating it and repeating it because I can't stress it enough. It's very, very important. So, so anyways, yeah, great. So you're gonna start from the beginning of this. Okay, awesome, Mandy. Right on. Erekose, I've said it before. I'll say it again. What you are doing is so humbling. The hard work and time. If you ever visit the UK, I'll put you up and show you a good time. Well, I am planning to make a trip to Scotland, Jay. At some point, I hope to get over there to Scotland. Got my buddy Paul. Got my homegirl Sharon Sunshine Young, and many other Scots that just many other people there in Scotland. So I am looking to. I've always wanted to go to Scotland as well, but many other people there in Scotland. I plan to go see, and then I plan on, taking one day so I can go down to like London and Cardiff, and like maybe like I don't know, offer some criticisms to the Doctor Who folks. I don't know, maybe it might be just a pipe dream, but whatever. Maybe if I yell loud enough, they'll hear me. I don't know. Anyways, they're ruining my favorite show. I hate them. Dang it. Anyways. Let's see here. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, absolutely. You're all welcome. Don't be like... very important to be that in most things. Absolutely. The idiots that did this probably didn't even know how to load a live video. Thanks again. I appreciate your time. Hey, thank you so much. The ones I talked to seem to be on our side, and we're glad we were there. Oh, at the rally, yeah. They were very nice to us at the rally. They were very patient with us. There was no negative vibe or anything. So I will agree that at the rally they're respectful. TikTok Manitowoc is on Twitter. I happen to like TikTok Manitowoc. He posts a lot of documents, a lot of real stuff. So if you want to visit Belgium, you're welcome, Erekose. Hey, I know Georgina would love that. Jerome, that's my other friend over there. So anyway. Hit the like. Yes, everybody hit the like button. It's been fun. Obviously, look forward to the next time. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. And we'll see ya. I'll tell you what. We'll play a song on the way out.
Connection successful.
I'll get you guys a link. Here's a link.
To me, I would give you more than 30. How do you think that we're gonna live? We're gonna squeeze your money, you're gonna have to give. When you're all dried up, we're gonna feel better. If the system's at fault, you can always send a letter. Help, I must be in a bad dream. Now you can see what I mean. Help, 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 help me.
You're all welcome. You're all very welcome. That's all she wrote, folks. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.